Kelly's mom had a strategy at the last shower.
Okay.
She was very generous, got us a bunch of cute stuff for the baby, all kinds of things. But held back, sat back strategically, watched, saw what we got, and then a few weeks later, there's this package. There's a package every day at my house.
Yes, I just walked by another
packages.
one.
But I try to, every morning when I get up, before I have my coffee, I try to process the packages from the day before.
You're like a mailroom.
I literally have to use... today is garbage day, and I'm going to have to use my ATV and a wagon to bring the cardboard out for recycling. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so there's a package. There's always a package. I go to pick the package up. It's heavy. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
It was a box, good sized box, full of clothes. More clothes from very, very generous. So Kelly's mom, just all kinds of cute stuff. But in particular, there was a Peter Rabbit bathrobe for a baby.
Oh, I thought for you.
Well,
which would have been nice.
Both Kelly and I are actively searching for the adult version of this. It is the nicest, softest robe and has Peter Rabbit ears on the little hood. It is gorgeous. I mean, the thing is absolutely adorable. And if one existed for a man my size, I would already own it. This is the Gray Hair and Daycare Podcast, with a combined age of 111 years and a combined IQ right in that same range. Your hosts, Frank Sirio and Carlo Russo. Welcome back. Here we are yet again. How did this happen?
Well, I know how it happened.
As always, I am Frank Sirio. I am 55 years old, and my wife is 34 weeks pregnant. It's getting close.
I'm getting really bad with the numbers.
That's it. It's kind of sad. 34 weeks pregnant.
34 weeks pregnant, episode 17.
Episode 17. That's it. We're getting really close now. Oof. It feels like I'm actually starting to have those thoughts of she could have anytime.
Yeah.
Like, and now I think being her first and all that, I think we've got some, runway left, but not a lot. No, it's right there.
Like I said, our first, it was so fast it could have happened in the parking lot of the hospital.
I can't imagine. So that's where we are. So our update, we're finally at something that I think we both will say we will like.
Are we out of the coconut?
We are now on to a honeydew melon.
I
love a honeydew melon.
Summertime. That's just
it makes you think of summer.
Of course, a little 4th of July picnic.
Her kidneys are now fully functional.
Absolutely.
Her liver is starting to work. She has little fingernails and toenails.
Oh, we'll get them painted up.
No. The apartment's getting small. She's starting to move less, but be more forceful. There have been multiple moments the last week where Kelly will be like, oh.
Punching mommy.
Yeah, like she's
kicking mommy.
She's making an impact.
They think they can make it bigger by just kicking.
That's the way I would do it.
Kicking the window down.
It's like with the covers when you're in bed. Like,
make this a little bigger.
Yeah, that's it. But doesn't necessarily work that way.
It does not work that way.
So that's where we are. And things are clearly changing for Kelly too. Mm-hmm. So I think one thing that I think definitely is cute,
Oh God.
So her joints are starting to loosen up, which is what you want to have happen, which has given her some like back issues.
Okay.
A little bit here and there. Things are shifting. And the way I really notice this visibly is Kelly can't normally, we hug.
Sure.
And the hug ends.
Loving family.
Now, when I give her a hug, she has to push off to get out of the hug. She can't. Because she has to lean in over her belly. So now she can't just stand. She has to she has to push off. It's
got to be forced
to stop which I think is cute. So I pointed it out. She's like, yes, I know. It's like,
that's hilarious.
So the hug,
she's to spring off.
She's kind of like you're lead launching. I don't. It's why I'll have to try to come up with a diagram.
And the crazy thing is and I know to her,
Yep.
she probably feels like she's 7,000 pounds.
Yes.
But you look at her and she goes, she looks great.
Yeah.
It's like other people are like, shut up.
But she is at that point. She's like, I just want it. Like,
for her size, she's big. Yes.
Yeah. She's
not used to that.
Not used to it. Feels weird. The whole food thing. Mm-hmm. For me, it's like she sat down to breakfast this morning, and it's like a pile of scrambled eggs and a pile of berries, and I'm like, it's so much fun to see. She's like, I want it to end. She's like, I can't wait to be able to just want a yogurt in my tea.
And she's going to be full with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what.
And you finally found your match. You're like, yes.
I'm like, this is fantastic.
I'm in heaven now.
Yeah. No, it's
going to go away.
I think it will, because she's literally like, because that's what she wouldn't have anything at all. She would have her tea in the morning and wouldn't have anything. She's better than us.
And I mean that in a great way.
In so many ways. So many ways.
Yeah.
But speaking of all those changes, our first segment we have not done in, I think, 8 episodes.
Really, that much?
It's been a while. I look back. We're going to move on to the diaper diet. So, if you recall, I'm trying to lose weight unsuccessfully as Kelly is gaining with the baby.
Right.
And the last time we checked in, Kelly was up 23.2 pounds. She had pulled away in the race, and I was only down 14.2. Okay. So she was ahead of me by 9 pounds. So, but since then, I'm gonna preface it by saying I have not made the same progress that I had been since.
So we had all the holidays in that 8 weeks.
We had Thanksgiving. We had Christmas. We had my Christmas party, which generates a lot of leftovers. Yeah. We've had 2 showers, one in a Polish restaurant, one at an Italian restaurant. I'm like, it's amazing that I have not gained. Honestly, I feel like it's a victory for me that I haven't, and I will give you that clue. I have not gained. So I didn't give up any ground, but in 8 weeks, where do you think we are?
So I believe in the last 8 weeks, you said that this was the time that weight was being put onto the baby. I mean,
roughly a half, like significant amount.
So I'm going to say she is now up another 3 pounds.
Okay.
Oh, God, I'm so bad at this.
Up 3.
26, should be at 26.2.
Okay.
Let's round it off. 27.
We're going to call it 27. Okay.
And you lost a pound and a half.
Well, you're very close on one of those two.
Really, Kelly? I just shot.
So I am down another 1.3.
Okay.
So I'm down 15.5.
Nice. Congratulations.
She is up 32 now. So she has put on 8.8. Yeah, almost 9 pounds. Okay. Almost 9 pounds. But over 8 weeks, and she's making a baby.
I said 27. She's 30. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
I missed a couple weeks there.
So she's up. So now I'm behind, 16 and a half pounds.
Okay. You'll get there.
Sure. I'm happy with the results. I would like to do better.
Well, didn't you tell me you're going to stop eating until the baby gets here?
Yeah, that's it. I'll be on a hunger strike until she give me the baby or I won't eat. That's it.
All right. Well, good for her.
Yes, I think she's right where she should be. I think she's doing a great job. She's really done a good job managing her glucose.
Yes.
I think the only time I know of for sure that she was a little high on one of her readings, her shower that happened a couple days ago, she had like a microscopic piece of cake, and that was enough because she doesn't have any. I don't think she has any carbs other than sweet potatoes. She's taking it super serious.
She is good.
Yeah,
she should be our trainer after all this. We just listen to her.
She could be. Right. She could. She'll tell us what to eat, just not how to still be happy eating that way.
So you're getting there. I mean, you're still losing. Like you said, you went through all these holidays. Showers.
That is miraculous in and of itself. I think the only thing that saved me really is having Thanksgiving out of town. I didn't have the leftovers from Thanksgiving.
And then the comfort of your own house, getting up and
because then it's like just a continual,
Just to let you know, every time I leave the studio, he gives me bags of chocolate-filled popcorn and cookies.
This is another strategy of mine. So I got my gift from my boss for Christmas was a collection of Moose Munch from Harry and David. Fantastic. Ridiculous. I love it. And I have been giving it every time car comes to shoot one of these. I'm like, hey, take another one.
Take another one.
I just checked. I checked with Trina when I saw her on Sunday. She's like, stop, I love it. Stop. Yeah. So there's more.
So my numbers are up 13 pounds.
That is okay. You are fine.
What's the perfect? Not perfect. What's the size that they want to keep, like somebody like Kelly's size up? Do they give you like a weight, like, oh, don't go over like 40 pounds, or they don't really get into that?
Nope.
She's probably right at a good number right now.
I think she's fine. I think if they thought that she was gaining too much, they'd say something.
Absolutely.
But they weigh her every time, and they never say anything about that.
And I believe she's gonna be a person an hour and a half later, she will look exactly like she did before she got pregnant.
I'm guessing.
I'm just saying.
Like, when was the last time you ever heard somebody say, I can't wait, not I wish I could just have tea and yogurt, but I can't wait until I can.
Yeah, she's
again.
Fantasizing about that.
She's like
we say, I can't wait to have that steak and potatoes tonight for dinner.
She's eating because she has to, right?
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys.
No.
Especially, a pound.
I'm proud of her. Like, she's doing the hard part. She's making a baby.
Well,
and to get that many, when you think about it, to get that many, the calories she needs without any carbs, right? She's eating. She's like, she's getting fruit. She's eating some fruit. She has her sweet potato. She loves sweet potatoes now.
Yeah, really.
But
like I said before, the hardest part for us, is we get stuck in that. What can I do? What can I do? I want to join you and we eat with them. Yeah. And then we gain weight.
Yep.
I remember we were looking at pictures, and that was the worst shape I've ever been in up to that point. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Like that's because I would, oh, you want ice cream? I'll get ice cream. Yep. Oh, you want to go out to eat? Oh, you got a craving for this, that, and the other?
Stay right there.
Yeah. So,
I'll be right
and
back.
then, like I said before, she craved like meat, hamburgers, and stuff like that, which I was like, let's go.
Yeah, why not? Yep.
So that's why I said good for you, because I know how hard it is on us as well to not fall into that. Oh, let me eat at midnight.
Well, honestly, with her now, this stuff, because she's got to do the reading after every meal, so she's not snacking in between.
Right. She's on a
and because since the gestational diabetes stuff, I feel guilty. Like, we have leftover cake from her shower, and I won't eat it in front of her.
You're in the bathroom just scarfing down.
It was exactly it. No, I wouldn't.
What are you doing? I'm shaving.
I'm not eating the bathroom.
I'm shaving.
No, I didn't really do that.
Well, that's good.
But she's
keep it going.
Things are going. So that's our diaper diet update, and we're gonna move on to the Silver Fox mailbox. So.
All right, Frankie.
One of the things, this is general, a general response that I get through a lot of our social media and email is, remember the Nigerian prince that used to always email people and say he needed you to help him and just send him $50 and he will send you.
In Macy's gift cards.
Yes, exactly. It was always something like that. Those Nigerian princes have now all become podcast promoters because I get, you wouldn't believe, I get continual messages on Facebook Messenger, through YouTube, in email. Everybody, and it's always the same thing. I will take your apple. It's always clearly written by someone for whom English is a second language, and it's just like horrible all the time.
The fun part is read it in the accent you think it's coming from. That's always a fun game.
I could try that.
We won't do that right now, but we get the same thing with my other company
all the time. It's crazy.
They'll say like, things that you want to do. Like, I can make your podcast top 10. I can do this with marketing this. And people will fall into that are not as smart.
Absolutely. Everybody's looking to make a buck. Now, they have been getting better. So I think I'm kind of holding that as scarier. I'm taking it as a compliment, right? Now they're saying, oh, you have X number of subscribers. And with that many views, I can do this. At least they're trying harder.
Yeah.
So
we're on somebody's radar.
To get
That's
a piece.
Good.
That's right. We're on. It's only a matter of time. So there's that. Also, there is a lot of general feedback from comments on shorts and things like that.
We do a lot of shorts. I love it. I love it.
The listeners really enjoy Crash Test Daddy. The viewers,
I'm sure they do.
They really do. And we've got so many more things that we're gonna be testing very soon.
Yeah,
there's that. Some specific feedback we got. So Joanne Townsend, wrote about the jacama. The jacama was the fruit that neither of us knew what it was.
Yeah, jacama, yeah.
She said she must have done a Google search and decided to send it to us. Also known as the Mexican turnip, or yam bean. It is a crunchy, sweet-tasting root vegetable native to Mexico and Central America. It's part of the pea family.
Really?
Yep. And is known for its thick brown skin and white flesh. But I also learned, not from Joanne, but from someone else, that it is the jicama. You're supposed to pronounce the J as an H. So it's a jicama. Now, how did I know about jicama, you may ask?
How do you know about jicama, Frank?
Because we heard from, avid listeners may recall, our friend Phil, the woodworker in Montana, brilliant woodworker.
Yes.
Phil wrote,
our first sponsor,
and said that it's pronounced, he's like, hey, stupid. It's pronounced jicama, and it makes really good, he uses it. He's a great cook too.
I remember he was a chef at one point.
He was a chef, and he posts stuff on Facebook that's like, it looks delicious. Yeah, it was nice. And he said it's a Mexican root vegetable, and it makes great slaw. He actually has cooked with the jicama. And he also brought up a couple other things that we're going to transition into, but that is our Silver Fox mailbox. We heard from Phil. We heard from Joanne Townsend and the Nigerian princes who are now podcast promoters.
That's awesome. Yeah, keep them coming in, guys. We love to have you guys in.
It is genuinely my favorite thing when I'm coming up, when we're planning these. I go and just look for the comments and see what's coming in. It is fun. So
and let us know. I'm wearing our merch actually. You
That's
can
right.
See my shirt and. Let me know if you guys would be interested in sporting some of these shirts and see if we can get out there and we'll make some merch.
So that leads us to, from the Silver Fox mailbox to I Was Wrong. So now, but this time, thanks to Phil, it's not really an I was wrong. It is a Carlo was wrong.
Me?
Well, I was wrong a little too. But so... What Phil pointed out, he said specifically, and I'm going to quote, tell Carlo that I remember a bunch of undesirables that hung out at the mall that came from good families, meaning you and him. So in one of our episodes, we were talking about kids in the mall, and you see them and you know that they're not from good families. And Phil's like, that was us. Basically, that was...
But we were, Phil, we were not doing what they are doing now at the mall.
Are you sure?
People are being like...
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, people are being held up and people are being...
Phil might not be aware of...
Yeah, the mall... We just thought we were in a fake band and we tried to pick up girls.
That's true.
That's all we did.
Hitting on innocent young girls with big hair.
Right, exactly. Yep. So I stand by what I say.
So he challenged that.
I'm challenging back, Phil.
He did say, I'm not sure if it qualifies as I was wrong, but he felt you were wrong.
I think the whole thing is he was wrong.
Okay. So there's your chance. You can respond.
And I did not come from a good family.
and then I had said that Lori she had commented she worked at Friendly's. I thought she worked at the one on James Street.
That's what you said.
I said that. And he said, no. She was at the Liverpool restaurant.
Gotcha.
So I was wrong with that. Our friend Lori worked at Friendly's in Liverpool. And he also pointed out, for you, another one for you.
Come on, Phil. Bring it.
That he's pretty sure Lori is not Phil's Lori anymore since they have not dated in the last 3 or 4 decades.
Well, I wasn't talking about that Lori. I was talking about his sister.
Oh, you were talking about... No, I think you were...
I said Phil's Lori. I didn't have a girlfriend.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Laura.
Oh, you were?
Laura is his sister.
Right. That's what I was talking about.
No, you said Lori.
What we were talking about Lori about?
We were talking... Lori's the one that worked Well, Laura also worked at Friendly.
Right, that's why.
But Lori worked at Friendly.
Well, I knew that. She was in Liverpool. Me and Phil would go there all the time and see her. I was thinking of his sister.
You were thinking of his sister, but you called her. So you were wrong by calling her Lori.
Gotcha.
Because she was Laura.
I don't even think I called her. I think you said, and I just heard Laura.
You said Phil's Lori.
That's right.
We're going to go back to the tape.
No, you're right. You're right. But I was thinking
you were
of
thinking of Laura.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, no, because Laura, that's how I met Laura, was at the Maddydale Friendlies.
Right. That's why I was confused. Remember I said, how did you guys meet if she was in James Street?
I'm not sure. I think there's some revisionist history happening.
I know for me, I was never thinking of his ex-girlfriend.
I never.
So I must have messed up the name. I'll give you that.
Could be.
But I never thought of Lori that we still know.
We do.
Right.
She's around. She has commented. She is involved and listening. So Lori, hello. Laura, I don't have talked to in a long time. I'm sure she's well. But anyway, thanks to Phil.
Thanks
for a couple. I was wrong.
I hope that cleared it up because we're now confused.
Me, I was wrong. Carlo was wrong. All about different things.
That's good though.
Okay. Well, we have figured that all out now.
Thank you.
And everyone has
now
that everyone has moved on to another podcast. That covers our I was wrong for this time. And now we decided, I think, a couple episodes ago, the name of this new segment, Frank Around, Find Out. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about because lots of things are blowing up really just today and yesterday regarding a couple things. One of them has come up more quietly over the last week or two, Catholic Charities.
Okay.
And the other is USAID. Catholic Charities is the first thing that came to my attention that I wanted to talk about because this made me feel a little uncomfortable.
Okay, shoot.
So obviously we're Catholic.
Yep.
I'm Catholic. Faith is important to us. Mm-hmm. Catholic Charities is one of the biggest charitable organizations in the country. They do all kinds of work. I was also aware that Catholic Charities does work a lot with transporting and housing immigrants. And this is one of the things I struggle with because, look, our faith tells us to take care of those people. And so I think in many ways this is admirable work. What concerned me the most is when I learned, I just doing a little research and seeing how much of the money that goes into Catholic Charities,
which has to be millions.
It is millions. How much do you think comes from the federal government and state government into Catholic Charities?
Not even 10%.
I would have thought it's mostly coming from Catholics, from people making donations. 60+% of the revenue coming into Catholic Charities is coming from mostly from the federal government and then from state governments.
What do they want?
Now, there's a couple things that I thought about when I heard that. And number one is that sucks because I would have liked to believe that people of faith are funding those charities and not the government funding things that way.
Right. The faith can make up that money alone, not leave it to the government.
So 60% of the revenue. Now, there's a couple things. The first thing is, that nobody gets anything from the government without a side of control.
That's what I said. Influence. What do they want?
Right. And what they want is to be able to funnel money to an organization that can do things that it would be illegal for the government to do, like move illegal immigrants, house illegal immigrants, all those things, and many other things. So there's that, okay, we can accomplish some of these things that we want to accomplish that we can't do without Congress, which I'm deeply uncomfortable with, and I think is a bad thing. And then secondly, it's also just the idea that they must exert a significant amount of control over that organization if more than half of their revenue is coming from. And we're talking about over the course of a decade, like $2 billion going into that organization. And it kind of dovetails into the stuff that's happening with USAID. So everybody has lost their minds. Well, not everybody. Democrats have lost their minds over the last 24 or 48 hours because Trump has sent Musk and Doge into USAID, and they have put a pause on all spending through USAID. And so I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that is. It sounds nice, USAID. But what it is.
Sounds like a very nice.
It was started by, I didn't know this, founded by John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
During the Cold War. And what it was essentially a function of the State Department to pay for programs around the world, essentially to combat communism, right?
Okay.
To promote the interests of democracy in America, the United States.
Which was a great
around the world. Great way to start. Unfortunately, what happened, Reagan comes along several decades later, the Cold War ends, and now we don't have to worry about that so much anymore.
Right.
So now there were mechanisms already in place for that funding, and then it started to become something very different.
Okay.
I think it has become one of the permanent institutions of liberal Democrat initiatives, right? That it doesn't matter if the president's a Republican or a Democrat, organizations like USAID are doing things that advance liberal causes, that support those things. And deeply concerning. Now, some of the things that they have spent money on, and this is what blows my mind. Now, we've already made announcements. No life-saving programs that USAID is doing have been halted.
Okay.
Right? They get a waiver.
Yep.
Their funding continues. Nothing. But that organization spent $6 million to promote tourism in Egypt. How does that help the United States? $2.5 million for electric vehicles in Vietnam. Vietnam, we love you, but I don't have an EV, and I don't know why you need one, and I don't know why we have to pay for it.
Vietnam, okay.
$1.5 million for DEI initiatives in Serbia.
Serbia.
I love the Serbian people.
Why not?
Don't know if that's what they need.
If they're listening, shout out.
And these are there's just a litany of examples of these things that they have done over the years. And that's why I thought it would be interesting to talk about it, is because of all the things that Trump is doing, because it is like trying to drink from a fire hose. Like, he's just everywhere.
Right now, yeah,
he's doing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But the thing that they have lost their shit about the most is this. And it's because this is a way for them to get their way, whether they are in power or not. They never lose power. And somebody has figured out finally to shut that stuff down.
Somebody was franking around.
Right. They found out, right?
Yeah.
They deliberately set this thing up so that it can be controlled by the executive branch. And now they're upset because somebody in the executive branch is controlling it in a way they don't like. These things, I hope that everything he's doing is pulling us back to a place of common sense and eliminating a lot of things that people aren't even aware of.
And our citizens first, our country first, our common sense first. And it seems like every week on this podcast, I have a statement that says, follow the money. Yeah. And it's always, that's the evil. That's the core. It's always, follow that money. And that's the root of of the evil of whatever's behind every freaking program. It's like, okay, where's the money? What's it getting filtered to? How is it bypassing the good? Or
where's the money going? How is it getting there? Why is it going that way? And I think the good part is, so for any of, so anybody looking at the situation, I really think this is going to be a good thing. The best thing about it is now they have taken that organization, everything's on a pause, and now that organization has moved under the control of the new Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. He was unanimously confirmed. He's a brilliant guy. He can speak intelligently to these issues. And basically what he said is, look, number one, no life-saving programs are going to get touched. And number two, these programs are going to do what they were intended to do, which is advance the causes of the United States around the world. Right. Not advance the causes of electric vehicles in Vietnam. Yeah. But anyway, so
they franked around.
People are franking around and they're going to find out. Yep. But I thought that was an interesting thing. But now we will move on to what just happened.
Frank.
Yes.
What happened?
So lots of things have happened last week. It's been a busy week.
Sure.
So the first thing that I thought was nice was, I think my mother-in-law, Kelly's mom, had a strategy at the last shower.
Okay.
She was very generous, got us a bunch of cute stuff for the baby, all kinds of things. But held back, sat back strategically, watched, saw what we got, and then a few weeks later,
attacked.
the beginning of last week, there's this package. There's a package every day at my house.
Yes, I just walked
multiple
by another
packages.
One.
But I try to every morning when I get up, before I have my coffee, I try to process the packages from the day before.
You're like a mailroom.
I literally have to use. Today is garbage day, and I'm gonna have to use my ATV and a wagon to bring the cardboard out for recycling. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so there's a package. There's always a package. I go to pick the package up. It's heavy. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Wow. It was a box, good sized box, full of clothes. More clothes from very, very generous. So Kelly's mom, just all kinds of cute stuff. But in particular, there was a Peter Rabbit bathrobe for a baby.
Oh, I thought for you.
Well,
which would have been nice.
Both Kelly and I are actively searching for the adult version of this. It is the nicest, softest robe and has Peter Rabbit ears on the little hood. It is gorgeous. I mean, the thing is absolutely adorable. And if one existed for a man my size, I would already own it.
Yeah. Well, you're going to find it.
Well, we might. And Kelly wants one too. She loves a good robe, and this thing absolutely adorable. So that was kind of nice. Then moved into our regular weekly checkup, and that was everything went well. So at this point, they're just measuring the belly, normal blood pressure, weight, all that stuff. Everything's on track.
Okay.
Next week, when we have our next appointment, I think it's called a fetal non-stress test. So it's not like putting the kid on a little treadmill or something.
Right.
But they are making sure that baby Josie is adapting to her, the growth and the amount of room she has.
Right.
And I think getting better intelligence on when things will happen. And I think the closer we get, the more we interact with the doctor, which I think is going to be a good thing too.
Yep.
And then we got the tour of the hospital where we are going to have our birthing experience, which happens to be St. Joseph's Hospital. So with your boys, where did you guys go?
We went to community hospital.
Community. Okay.
Yeah, community hospital.
And how did it, what was it? So what was that experience? Now that I have seen what it's going to be like for us, what was it like? So how did it work for you guys? Did you do a tour before, or you just showed up where do I put my wife?
We did the tour. And again, this is going back many years. I remember we had the same tour you're speaking about. They give you some options. You can do this room or you can upgrade to this room.
Really?
Right? You didn't get that. Which maybe the upgrade was already what you already have anyways. It was like a solo room and it looked like a little bit like a hotel room, a little nicer.
Right. That's interesting.
Right. So that's what I want to say they just got done remodeling, fixing our building. Something was happening, like it was a new wing, something.
Okay.
So we were offered that, and of course we went to that room.
You did the upgrade.
I believe we did the upgrade.
Gave him
a little 50 on the side.
Give me the nice room on the corner.
And again, Trina will let me know. This could be all made up in my mind.
All be
18 years.
Okay, we need content.
But I believe, yes, there was options of rooms.
Right. Okay.
And we took the more isolated room.
Yeah.
I guess
private suite, concierge level.
We still live there. No.
We stayed.
I believe. Why? What did you experience?
So it was interesting. So we show up, and it's done with a group, right? So.
Oh, really?
Yes, they did. I think there were probably 4 or 5 couples.
Okay.
So first time interacting with other moms and dads, and all of the moms were due right around our same due date. So that was nice. And of course, I have to say, I have been very judgmental of the videos.
You have.
So these guys, I was like, oh, these are cool. These guys they were cool.
Approved.
I did. I approved. They were mostly like a couple of them.
They had it going on.
They had a good sense of humor.
Good.
They're not it was fun. But basically our tour guide was she is a partially retired nurse. So she is working she does these tours, and she is a lactation consultant.
Ooh.
But she had been a labor and delivery nurse for 23 years or something. Real nice lady. And she just takes you through kind of the whole from beginning to end. So you start off, they show you the triage area. So when you go, you show up, the first thing they tell you is, don't worry. You don't have to, you park in the garage, but if you're in a hurry, like you can just leave your car down by the valet and we'll let you take care of it. I would do that too.
No, we did that, yeah.
So you come in and then you go in for triage. So triage, basically all they're doing, that's like the goalie, like, no, you can go home, right? Like they're basically, they put you, they check the mom out and make sure, are the contractions happening? Are they at of a timing that you need to be here, right? Now for us, I think with the likelihood of it being induced, I think that we might be skipping that part, right? It'll be planned.
It's going to be planned, yeah.
So you do that and then you go into all the rooms. You go into basically a ward. The first thing I was disappointed by was every movie, television show, everything I've ever seen, there is a big picture window and you look in and there's 30 babies, and that doesn't exist anymore.
No?
Nope. There is no nursery.
I had that even up to 18 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
No nursery.
And people were looking outside the window.
Yeah.
And like, that's yours. That's mine.
Right. No.
I actually did that.
That is a thing of the past.
Really? What do they do now?
So the first stage, triage. Second stage, you're in the labor delivery room. Private room. You have your own bathroom.
Yep. I remember that.
They've got all the equipment there.
Yep. And
your team comes in and helps you. And you're there until basically like a couple hours after the birth, right?
Yes.
While they are trying to get the baby to latch and feed and doing all the other stuff that they need to do. So it's nice. It's a private room. You don't have to do anything. Now, on that floor, there are a couple shared rooms that you can have where they have like a jacuzzi that you can go for relaxation during that stuff.
I don't want to talk about that. Right?
Okay, we don't.
Anything to do with pools and water, I don't want to talk about that.
I don't blame you. I know we can skip that. So anything with shared resources, I know Kelly's not going to want anything to do with that.
Right.
I'm not going to either. We'll be in that room until everything's good.
Sure.
So then you go to what's called, and this is where the nursery goes away. That baby stays with you except when they take it to weigh or if there's an emergency or something like that. So there is a NICU, but there's no nursery for the regular population of new recruits.
Gotcha.
So that's it. So you then as a group go into the mother and baby room, which is much more like an apartment. Again, private. There's a little couch that pulls out that I can sleep on, a little more normal bed, your own bathroom. On that suite, then there's a little shared kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yep, there's a shared, like a little, a couple microwaves, stuff like that. And you're there as long as it is. They're basically saying, it's going to be you're there at least 18 hours. It could be 2 or 3 days.
Sure.
Very nice. And it's all very modern and nicely equipped. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, one of the moms asks about, I don't remember what they called it. But essentially, it was the way they used to do it was you were in one room from beginning to end.
Okay.
And you picked a room. This was your room. Everything private, everything handled there. And that all apparently, the ability to do that all went away because of COVID.
Gotcha.
So essentially, she said, when COVID happened, so many nurses retired that there was all this demand that created a demand for travel nurses where you make a lot of money. So they lost even more nurses.
Yep.
So she basically made it sound like there's like one nurse on our floor.
Wow.
Not the one, like there's one that has been there since before COVID. All the others are new. And so they don't have the skill set.
Gotcha.
They don't have the staffing or the skill set to do it that way anymore. So this is it. So it's shared resources among, so you have people helping multiple women giving birth at the same time. So this is the way they do it now. But when you say like you got to choose at the end, I'm like, I thought of our Disney cruise conversation. Like Isn't there like I'll spend a little.
There's no upgrade.
Is there a bigger room?
Yeah.
Or is there something, where I can also get anesthesia?
Is there a room where I will be having the little stuffed animal that's on our bed when we come back from the cafeteria?
I almost asked because they were talking about how the different types of drugs that the mother can get. And I'm like, can there be nitrous oxide for the father?
Daddy needs.
Well, why not?
But you saying that, I don't remember it being as comfortable with Nicholas, my second, than it was with Natalia. Again, I could be wrong. At one point, I remember my sleeping was like in a chair.
Same doctor, same hospital?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know.
It was in a chair, and then I was in the lobby, and I was uncomfortable. So that might have been the night of the birth. I just remember being more comfortable with Natalia.
Maybe they were full.
It could be. It could be.
Get in or something?
I think something like that actually happened.
Maybe.
It was full, and we had to do more shared, like you said, joint thing.
Right.
But I do remember sleeping in the hallway because the room just didn't have couches or seating for me to lay down in. So I was in the lobby. It is interesting how different hospitals do that, and it's so funny that they don't have that room anymore with all the babies.
Yeah, that's more.
That's what you. Like you said, that's what you envisioned.
Yep. And then with the NICU, they don't let you look, right? So you can't see any of that, even if you wanted to. But yeah, so there's no more nursery where you sit there and see all the babies because the babies are with their moms. So
and at that time, when back in the day, they had nurses working all the way around, so there was more people working that could keep their eye on the babies.
Right.
All that room.
Now it's a lot like DIY. Like, here, you should do skin to skin. We'll be back in 90 minutes.
You're going to go home anyways in a couple of days. You're going to figure this out anyways. Start now.
And the woman who gave us the tour, the lactation coach, so they have it all figured out.
Yeah,
so she comes in and helps with latching and getting all that going. And if you're having challenges, she has.
And that could be a challenge.
Yeah.
And it gets very discouraging.
Oh, yeah.
And
I can't imagine.
So that's another thing for us daddies to be very, on top of it.
I can imagine. If that works, it's a non-issue. But if it doesn't, I can only imagine it being a thing. Hopefully everything is going to go the way it should.
Of course.
And she was great talking about, look, don't worry. And we have lots of strategies. We'll figure it out. That's what she's there for. So that was nice.
I'll tell you, they always say, babies that get breastfed, breast milk, they're so much better.
Healthier,
happier. And I'm telling you, knock on wood, my kids, we didn't have the earaches, the getting sick all the time. I mean, their immune systems, whatever it is, we never had to deal with that.
Right.
And it wasn't like it was a long time they were breastfed, but it was a good time.
Sure.
Yeah, it's so amazing, the mother's milk and how it affects them in a good way if you can do that.
Yeah.
So I hope it's something that will be easy or will latch on, as they say.
Right. They're gonna
because there is benefits. There's great benefits.
Yeah.
Because I've seen kids that didn't have that, and they were always dealing with something.
It is a
throat and colds and sniffles and this and that.
It is a disadvantage without a doubt. So that was fun. We got to do that. It was snowing like crazy. Now the other thing that I was deeply disappointed by, if you recall, we had the extremely boring videos, the childbirth class videos.
Yeah.
We had printed everything out. We got to the end of those, and just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in, and apparently there are 4 more whole classes. Like that was just delivery. Now it's post birth care, caring for the baby. All this, so we're now into a whole new class that we've been watching. Now, the upside is these were clearly shot a while after. Same horrible host, but she's lost a little weight.
Oh,
new blouse.
Nice.
She's a little perkier. And
she got some coaching.
I think she
director was like,
she got some feedback.
We got some notes
from the last one.
Got some notes, as they say.
You gotta act like you're alive.
What is this blouse?
So it's a little better, and it's more
so bad.
It's interesting, and again, different content. So we're going through those little by little. But I've got a lot more to go.
Just give me the baby. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. To a certain
Just give me the baby.
To a certain extent.
You know what I mean? We'll figure this out.
We could, yeah. It's we just got to keep it alive long enough for it to tell us what it wants.
Yeah, it's going to happen. And then they just go home.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right.
See ya.
You could see that in the tour that there were people like, really, that's it? Like
then we send you home.
And then we leave. And then do you come to that?
Yeah.
One thing that I was very happy with, I finally had some time. Like I have not been as productive as I have wanted to be with getting things ready.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, and we had made our selection of the Cradlewise, and the Cradlewise can be set up as a bassinet and then converted to a crib.
Exactly.
So that arrived. Mm-hmm. And first thing is, that thing is heavy.
Really? It's got mechanics in there.
They left it outside. I couldn't pick it up. I had to drag it in, slide it to where I needed it to be. And then Saturday.
Well, it is a crib.
Yeah, but
it turns into a crib. It's got to be pretty heavy.
Yeah, even a crib,
cribs are not that heavy,
I wouldn't think that I couldn't lift it. And
what the heck did you buy?
Yeah, so I'm like, wow, like this is, at least I feel like I'm getting my money's worth by the pound.
It's legit.
But so Saturday, I was able to take care of putting that together. So
good for you.
And I'm not sure. You may at some point, maybe even in this episode, see I recorded the whole assembly. So you could see putting it together.
Great idea.
And it really was, I have to say, it is beautifully designed. It's a great design, the product itself. Mm-hmm. The packaging, also very well designed, very easy to assemble. All you needed was a Allen key and a screwdriver. Mm-hmm. Took maybe an hour and a half.
Not bad.
To put it all together, including setting up the app.
Right.
Getting it all working. And we got all that done. And on top of it, one of the gifts from the shower that we'll talk about next, a little stand, because the Cradlewise goes up and down, you can't have one of those like clamp on mobiles because it would just be like shaking it.
Obviously.
So
you need something.
So we have a separate stand with a beautiful mobile that was a gift from my sister in Texas, actually.
Nice.
Got that set up the Diaper Genie. And
I love the Diaper Genie.
When you described the Diaper Genie and the poopy sausage. So your version of the Diaper Genie, clearly several generations.
At least 18 on, yeah.
There was a twisting that happened.
Yes, you have to twist it. When you put it in, then you turn.
Okay. This does not do that.
Really? Automatic?
Nope. This is just, I don't know. There's nothing going on.
Okay.
You clip a cartridge of bags into the bottom.
That stays the same.
Pull it up through around the little lippies.
Yep.
And then there's just two flaps that you push it through.
Uh-huh.
And I don't see anything about twisting.
Are you sure?
I didn't read the directions, but.
Okay. So it sounds exactly like what I had.
Okay.
But when you put it in, it tells you to turn. And because that's what's making the links, the poopy links.
That's what I thought.
It's individually sealing it all together. And so when you take it out, it's not this huge bag holding it all together. It kind of looks like links, so it doesn't rip.
So now here's the thing. So one of our shorts, I snipped out the part of the podcast that where Carlo referred to the poopy sausage. And the company, the Diaper Genie people, commented how
so crazy.
They call it the diaper snake.
Diaper snake. That's a better probably
But they kind of love the poopy sausage. But maybe it's called a snake and not sausage because it's all contiguous. But
they knew what poopy sausage meant, so they got an idea.
They did like it. They liked it. And I was very excited this could be maybe our first sponsor, thanks to your deep knowledge of parenting and the poopy sausage.
So you set that up.
It is. So maybe next time
we're gonna take a look at it.
We haven't used it yet.
Right, we're gonna take a look.
But I've got some bag. We'll do a crash test daddy with it at some point.
I'll put on some Depends.
At some point in the future. Sure, we could do that. So that all got set up on Saturday, and I could tell it was a huge relief for Kelly. I could tell she was so much happier just to see it all.
See it.
So we have the Cradlewise, we got the Diaper Genie.
Sure.
Also, I have a rocker that's normally in our family room. We brought that in.
That's going to be so big.
The rocker's there.
Oh my God. She's going to be, yes.
She got a special little ottoman that allows her to get out of the rocker easily enough. The only thing I couldn't do, which we knew we were getting, but we were getting it at the shower that just hadn't happened yet, is the changing table.
Gotcha.
So that right now is a project that I might try to do tonight, and then that'll be it.
And that's all going into your bedroom.
Yep.
For now.
So yeah, and when you see, I think I might do one of those time lapse, so you can see the assembly. The assembly was really easy,
good,
straightforward on the cradle, and maybe I'll do one on the changing table too.
Did it get real?
When
you saw everything, did it get real? Like there's baby stuff in my bedroom right now.
It felt good. It felt good to see it and feel like, okay, there's a little landing pad, right? This is going to be her spot. And yeah, I was excited to see that.
You bought some time.
Yes.
For the baby room.
The nursery, I have made little progress.
Nice.
So we have the light fixtures. Okay. So if you recall, the light fixtures we selected are hot air. They look like hot air balloons, old-timey hot air balloons.
So cute.
2 different sizes. So I'm gonna wire those and have those in the room. And then what I decided as far as the look, I'm gonna put in like wainscoting, chair rail around the room, and then above the chair rail, what I decided I'm gonna do is we're gonna take Winnie the Pooh images.
Love Winnie.
And there's a particular image that we like from a coloring book that is Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Piglet in a makeshift hot air balloon.
Yes.
And I'm going to use a projector. I'm going to scan that from the coloring book, use a projector, put it up on the wall, and I'm going to paint it. So basically what I'm going to do is make the walls look like a coloring book and partially color it in with watercolor.
Wow.
That's the goal. I have to do a proof of concept of how the watercolor is going to look, but that's the plan.
Wow, that's some work.
And as I do that, I will do videos and you guys will get to see it, hopefully too. So that's up, but I got to get on the stick. I'd like to have a lot of that done before. So I've got, 3-4 weeks.
Our theme was Baby Noah's Ark. Remember?
Noah's Ark. That's cute too.
Trina painted this beautiful piece.
That's
my
awesome.
Goodness.
Very cool.
And everybody that came to the house would be like, oh my God, who did that? What is that? That's so cool.
That's it.
And it was so cool to look at. And it was sad when we had to paint over it when they got when they got older and they didn't want Noah's Ark, Baby Noah's Ark.
Right.
But it was, for many years we enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So that is the plan. But the week kind of ended with the second shower. So first shower was in Buffalo, hosted by my sister-in-laws, Kelly's sister, and
Kelly's side,
and her brother's wife, Gabe. They did a great job and it was very nice. That one was in Buffalo. My sister Paula here locally very graciously offered to host one here for my relatives that are here, and it was really nice. So we went to. Had at a place, Vito's restaurant, and the food was good. It was really good, and way too much. I went home with like 2 bags.
A lot.
We split it up. I think we came home with half of the food, and it was like 8 pounds of like the typical pasta, the
family style
pizza, antipasto, then calamari. Pasta, meatballs, eggplant, veal parm, there's a
lot.
Roasted chicken, potatoes, the whole thing. Like it was way too much.
Nobody
food.
went hungry.
Nobody went hungry. Then, so we did that there, and then transitioned. We went back to my sister's house, and they had they did a cake from biscotti. And cake and cake. Oh, good. You're going to bring more home after we finish this. So I
told you guys,
get it out of here. So it was really nice and a very different feel, right? Being in my sister's home when we did the presents compared to, it was very nice in Buffalo, but it was a little bit more intimate. Everybody could kind of be comfortable, and Kelly's going through and opening, and so many. What really blew me away was, first of all, my sister was way too generous because she does this huge shower and then gives us not only a changing table, but then these adorable, it's called Jack and Genie or Genie and Jack. It's it's a real high end kid clothes store. Just this absolutely beautiful gown, little white with a little bow on the back, like gorgeous stuff, cute little socks, like all this other stuff on top of that. So there's that. Then all of the gifts, a lot of these are my first cousins, mostly my mom's side. On my dad's side, I have my cousin Judy. She put together this package of just super thoughtful little kitty size hangers. Aww. Like all these really great ideas. She's extremely talented. Like she does DIY house stuff at my level easily, right? Like she's really, really good. So she's very talented with this stuff, but beautifully put together, everything color coordinated, themed, little clothes, little just.
She took some time.
Took some time. Very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Trina shows up with this that I asked Trina multiple times, Carlo helped you.
And I did.
With this, and you did. It was beautiful.
A lot.
A diaper tower that looked like a wedding cake.
Unbelievable, right?
It was incredible. 100 diapers, all stacked. It was beautiful. I would never have guessed that came. I was like, I don't know who made this. And it was you and Trina. So Trina,
we had fun.
Trina came through. She said, like,
we had a ball just thinking of, oh my God, let's get this. Let's buy this. Oh, this would be out there. And we just got taken away with the moment. And
it was what. And then she tells me that then Nicky comes out with his one of his rosaries from. That was awesome.
Nick put his rosary on there.
Yeah, it was so really, really
Absolutely.
nice. So it was all these thoughtful gifts. My cousins. My cousin Susan and Tish and Carrie all made crocheted little receiving blankets, little hats. It was just like a completely another level of thoughtfulness and kindness. It was really, really nice.
Well, it's from the heart. Not that other presents when you buy them are not equal or obviously,
no.
But when you see something like that and it just makes you feel love.
Anytime someone gives their time in that way,
it's special.
Is special. So it was really, really lovely.
And then you get surprised on how creative people are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh my God, you did this. Like you said, Carlo helped you with this. Get creative.
She's like, Trina's like, at first he was helping, but then he got into it. And
I did.
it looked like you guys did.
The creative part of my art. The arty part of the creative
that's
craftsman's.
Awesome. It was great. It's all. I don't want to take it apart. It's up on. It's on our island in the kitchen.
They're size 3.
There you go.
So you got a little pit. You got a little
keep
time.
it someplace.
Yeah, take a picture of it.
Yeah. So we did all that stuff. It was awesome and really, really enjoyed it. And that was just great overall.
Yeah.
So,
my wife came home and talked about how much fun that it was, and it was really neat. And she said she actually sat with you most of.
Yeah, no, we sat together. Yeah. We sat together at the restaurant.
Yeah,
it was nice. I got to spend some time.
That's good things. And you can have so many. Oh my God, these little things that come up. Especially being religious and Catholic. We have things that come up.
Yeah.
With baptisms and this and that. And there's little parties. And,
that was
so much fun.
That was another thing that I thought was nice because Kelly's mom is very religious.
Yep.
But there hasn't been a lot of that, anything directly faith related for the baby yet.
Right.
Although
we brought it.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. My cousin Susan.
Yeah.
First prayer book. You guys gave a little prayer book.
Yep,
and I thought that really was nice. And I was actually talking to my cousin Susan about, we're really disappointed because we went to Mass. So this past, Saturday, we did Mass on Saturday. I was reader 2. I remembered to process in. I did not. I didn't screw up. And Father Seep announced that they have a small little school attached to the church at Sacred Heart, and they had a pre-K program there, and they're closing it. And
that's a tough thing with our Catholic closing the schools.
Yeah.
Pompey closed their school.
Yeah.
So what we did, we wanted religion to be a big part of that process. Early learning, right?
Yeah.
So we went, and you might look into this. We went to a place called Little Lamb.
Little Lamb.
Right on North Syracuse.
Okay.
It's not the church that we go to.
Right.
But they were teaching the word. And we thought, you know what? For what it is, and they were, oh my God, such great people. Not only did we have Natalie there, but we had Nicholas there.
Nice.
And then when I went through our family health issues,
yeah,
they were incredible.
Really?
With us. They were incredible. Nice. And I would do it all over again to that
interesting
place. So look up Little Lamb.
Little Lamb.
Now, it's not a Catholic run.
So Susan was telling me St. Elizabeth's, I think, is that in Liverpool or Beeville?
It might be Beeville.
I think it might be in
that weird Beeville, Liverpool area?
In between. So both of her boys went through, and they still have theirs.
They still have that?
It's still active. So yeah, we're going to have to look into that. Of course, in my mind, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, I'm going to make that reopen. Like, I'm going to find a way.
Fund it.
Like, I'm like, there's got to be a way.
You're going to be teaching it.
They had it. They could have it again.
Yeah.
But
there's options, yeah.
But for being my side of the family and having a little bit of having those things that we just talked about in a recent episode, that's one of the most important things for me, is to pass on a strong faith to little Josie.
Sure.
And to have those gifts that were meaningful and other really thoughtful gifts, and the books that they gave us and just everything. You guys
did a neat thing instead of cards.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but that was a thing that my sister did in the invitation. It said, don't bring a card. Instead, just write an inscription in a book for the baby. And the choices were excellent.
Yeah.
And I literally, like, that's going to probably have to be part of the nursery remodel. Is there's already literally like a bookshelf of books.
We have plastic bins.
Just full of them.
Yep. We loved them, and we would read at night with them and all that stuff. And when Trina told me that about the cards, instead of cards having the books, that's cute. That's neat.
Yeah. No, it was great. Yeah. I did notice, you appreciate the gifts so much, and you think about how meaningful they are. And my sister did a great job with the shower. And was too generous. My other sister, beautiful, had already sent. She couldn't come from Texas, but she's going to come once the baby's born to help out.
That's when you want them to
That's right. Yes, that'll be great.
You come
So
now.
she's going to do that, but sent some beautiful gifts.
I walked in and the gifts were, they were there.
And I can't sort anything out yet, because the one thing that we did, this was a miss, a little teeny miss with the shot was, and actually we could probably figure it out. My brother-in-law did a great job, took a bunch of pictures, videos, all the videos. I haven't watched them yet, but from what I hear, they basically are just Kelly saying, oh, a lot. There's just a lot of, it's a lot of that stuff.
That's funny.
But we didn't, and I was helping. I was like getting rid of the wrapping paper, presenting as Kelly worked through the presents. But nobody took a good track of who's who.
Yeah, I knew that.
So I tried to keep it organized. So right now everything's got to stay there. You don't want to
move anything
until Kelly can go through everything and make sure she's positive on who gave what.
That's funny.
But it was really nice. Plus a couple fairly solid offers for help with babysitting, and some fairly sincere offers. And Trina was like basically demanding to be in rotation for that stuff too. But
we're taking that baby.
A couple of my cousins are very nearby.
We're taking that baby.
We are taking that baby. Welcome to do so.
My son watches your dogs, and we watch the baby.
That's right. Yeah, there you go.
That's how it works. We have a whole business.
That's it.
From doggies to babies.
We cover it all.
Well, that seems like you had a full.
It was a busy week.
I had, we did something as well, something that happened to us. We went to, we had my mother's 1 month mass.
Awesome.
Yep. We had my mom's 1 month mass that from her passing. Got to go with my brothers and my dad and my cousins. My cousins came out.
That's nice. You have a great relationship with your extended family, with your cousins and stuff.
I love them
really nice.
To death.
That's awesome.
So we not only did that, but afterwards, we went to brunch with everybody. So now, and where was it that you... We went to Drumlin's. And I've never been there. That's a good brunch. We'll go. Okay. And then after that, after brunch, we all went to the cemetery. And that's nice. That's very nice. Yeah. So we had a very nice time. I know my mom would, she used to love going out to dinner, Yeah. So we did that, and... we're going to keep it going. That is the nicest way. Honestly, that is one of the things when I first started to have big family get-togethers, my mom was still alive, and she just loved it. And anytime I think,
it's a lot of work, because it is. It's a lot of work. You get 45 people cooking. You never know. It's a challenge.
Timing and this and that. People coming in now.
I know how happy she would be that I continue to do that, and I'll do it forever. Like I will, just because but I do. She loved it. She loved when we would do that. Yeah. Because it happens so infrequently, and if you don't, your family, you guys get together regularly. It's awesome, and we, for a long time, we didn't, my extended family, we didn't see each other unless somebody passed away or somebody got married and so it's nice to have that at least once in a while.
We grew up that way because of when we came here from Italy, we came with some uncles, a grandmother. We all lived in one house. So our house was the gathering place with the other siblings that were already here. My mom had a sister here and a brother here, and they had their families. So because our grandmother lived with us in our house, they all came to us. Right. So at any given time, there was at least 13 to 15 people at my house every day.
That is like a dream for
every
me.
day.
I would love it.
I swear. I remember being sent downstairs to get more chairs from our downstairs kitchen. Yeah. Yes, we have 2 kitchens. And I remember, it's so crazy, walking downstairs and saying to myself as a kid in my head going, I love my family.
That's awesome.
I remember that feeling of, oh my God, they're all here.
The excitement of having your family.
And I did it, and it happened almost every other day. That was it. And I used to love being outside and seeing either my uncle's car, my cousin's car pulling up, and I know, this is where it starts. Yep. In 10 minutes from now, there's going to be 30 people in my house making coffee, having dessert, and then that goes in. And it was something that I always wanted, and that's why I think we continued that with my family and my cousins, and then we had kids and the birthday parties. Yeah, I want to keep that going forever. Yeah,
that's absolutely that's awesome. Well, but that's pretty much, it was a busy week, but that covers everything. Well, we'll be down like 4 next time, 4 weeks to go. We're getting close.
The podcast's going to change a little bit. There's going to be we always say, there's going to be a baby. We could actually, there's different stories and it's going to change just a little bit. It's going to, the new chapter.
As I was putting together the notes for this, I thought, what are we going to do? How are we going to start the podcast when there's no more produce?
My baby's head is like a baby.
Yeah, it's going to change. It's only a few more weeks away. But anyway, thank you again for making it to the end of another episode 17,
my friend.
And we will see you next week. Well, folks, that's another episode of the Gray Hair and Daycare Podcast in the books. Thanks very much for tuning in and spending this time with us. We hope it was fun. If you enjoyed this week's descent into the madness of dadness, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any of our future adventures. And while you're at it, give us a like and share the cast with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Carrier Pigeon, whatever you crazy kids are using. Have any hilarious parenting stories of your own? Questions about navigating fatherhood later in life, or even when normal people do it? Email us at ghdc.podcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to bed.